I can have your attention, please, we'll go ahead and get this started. We have two special guests with us today. Our first guest is Kayte Christensen, who's the courtside reporter for the Sacramento Kings and does a variety of things on their television show and their radio and all of that. And then next we have Vince Carter from the Sacramento Kings. When he was in high school, he was a McDonald's All-American. And after that, he went on to play basketball for the University of North Carolina. But probably for you guys in this band, the thing to know is that he was a drum major in the high school marching band in Florida. And so today, Vince is here to talk with us a little bit about that experience and some of the experiences in the NBA. Thank you for coming out, Mr. Carter.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The crazy thing is, this man right here, can anyone guess how old he is without pulling out your phone and doing Google? Okay? I'll do you right here in the front. 40 years old. So he's been playing in the NBA longer than all of you have been alive. So can we give him a hand for that, okay? That is an amazing accomplishment.
Long time.
How did you get involved in band?
Well, I started, my stepdad was a band director, and my mom was one of those people. She's like, look, you're an athlete, but I want you to be more than just an athlete. I want you to kind of dabble in a little of everything if you can. And probably the summer of 5th grade going into 6th grade, I started saxophone. I picked up the alto. So I play 7 instruments. So I play alto, tenor. I play all the saxophones. I play trumpet, baritone. I play tuba. I can play clarinet. I play the drums a little bit. So I was just a little bit. And of course, my senior year, I was drum major. So you can imagine how the practice schedule. So I was going from the field. I played volleyball, so I was going to the field, sometimes the volleyball, and sometimes the basketball, right all in a row. So it was just tough, but I enjoyed it. I'd been around music all my life, and now I can engineer. So I was writing music, I was choreographing band dances back in the time. So I was really involved in music.
But you played sports as well. What is your advice to these kids sitting here on how to manage all of that?
Well, first of all, education is important. We understand we all have a goal, and you guys want to go as far as you want in music, I'm assuming. You have to understand, to get to that goal, don't skip steps, first and foremost. That's number one. You can't skip steps. We always want to get to the end, but we don't want to do the work to get there. And perfect your craft. I love band. I had an opportunity, to be honest with you, to go to I had a couple of scholarships to play in the band, but I told them if I couldn't play sports and in the band, I wasn't going to do it because I really I love basketball, and it's been great to me.
It worked out well for you, yeah, I would say.
But music was my passion as well, and if I couldn't do them both, I couldn't.
So
walk
you
away
chose.
From it. So
you
I
had
to
choose.
choose, unfortunately. But like I say, I still go back to my high school, and when they play in the summer, when they're practicing in the summers, I see the kids, band camp, pre-band camp, all of that. I'm always out there watching the kids, so I'm always around it. And I just say, if you guys love it, and this is something you truly want to do, perfect it. Learn as much as you can about it. Whatever path you choose to take, whether it's actually on stage, performing as a group, or producing, or engineering. Take it serious, but this is the time to do it now, because we see all the great producers, we see all the great musicians in the world. They started somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They all started somewhere, so perfect it now.
7 instruments. Do you have a favorite?
Definitely I have to say saxophone, because that's where it started.
The whole area over there.
I started with the alto, and I'd been around music, and I taught myself how to play the trumpet. Taught myself how to play the tuba, the baritone. I wanted to be a part of each section and kind of just be a part of the wind, the brass, the percussion section, and I was able to do that. I taught myself, and my stepdad was tough on me. Like he said, okay, you're gonna step out of the box from saxophone. You're gonna have to be the top 3 chair in the class, not just make it. So I had to at least be, first, second, or third chair, or I wasn't gonna happen. Well, I ended up being first chair in each instrument I played, which allowed me to be the drum major my senior year.
I know you are fairly busy with your basketball career, but do you still, is like reading music, for example, is that like riding a bike? Once you know it, you don't forget?
It is. I think like right on the spot, at first I look at it like, but at the same time, it's like as you sit there, you think about it, it all comes back to you. I still have a saxophone. It sits at home in Florida. Has a little dust on it, but every now and then I do open it and I look at him like, you're still the man.
Did you ever write music?
Yes. In the band, I was in the marching band, and I was in the solo and ensemble. I did all of that stuff. So I was in the jazz band. So I wrote some of the music for the band in the stands, on the field. I choreographed some of our marches, on-field marches, our dances, all of that stuff. I was like, my goal at one point is like, if this basketball thing didn't work out, I wanted to be a band director. I really did.
But the basketball thing did work out.
It did.
Which we're all very fortunate. Yeah, and now your 20th season, you choose during the off season to come to Sacramento and join this Kings team, which is a different situation than a lot of teams that you've played on, especially coming from Memphis, a perennial playoff team. What was it that brought you here?
Well, the opportunity, of course, the money is always great, but I think at this point, it's just about opportunity. I wanted to still play. I wanted to teach guys, but still show them how to play the game the right way. And that just goes back to what I say, perfecting your craft and learning how to play your instrument, your sport, or whatever the right way, so you can prolong your career. And that's what I learned at the beginning, how to play the game the right way. And that's allowed me to still be in the NBA at this age. It's like, man, why are you still playing? I play because I love it. But at the same time, with a lot of young guys coming in not knowing how to play, I can keep a job because I know how to play the game, so it helps.
So after retirement, you gonna go back to this band thing?
Music of some sort.
Really?
Believe it or not, my daughter, she plays piano and she plays clarinet herself. My family, my mother was involved in the band. She was, what did she? She did a little bit of everything. She was in charge of the majorettes. My uncle was a drum major coming out. My aunts all played in the band, different instruments. My brother played trumpet for a little while. My cousin was in college. She played trombone, and she moved on to now she tutors, and she's in accounting, and she still tutors kids in music. So I'm always around music. I'll always be around music. I have a studio back in Florida where I engineer for fun. We do some writing and all that stuff, so I'll definitely be around music. I can't help it. I go to football games, and especially in Dallas. I lived across the street from a high school, and I would just walk over there and sit at the fence and just listen to the band play. So it's just great to walk in and hear you guys play, and I hope you guys love what you're doing and don't see it as a chore. A lot of people may talk about all this, that about music, but they wish they can do what you're doing, particularly when they get older.
Yep.
You'll appreciate it more. And there's a lot of people like, man, I wish I picked up an instrument. My brother, to this day, he's 38, and he's like, I wish I stuck with the trumpet. So just love it, man. What you're doing is great, and this is a great asset as you get older.
Coming up on Kings Central.
So in the Olympics, for those who don't know, I jumped over a 7'2" guy in the game, and it's a big deal, right? My bad, sorry.
I've monopolized enough of your time. We actually are gonna open it up for some questions from the audience.
Sure.
So he's got the microphone. Don't be shy.
Don't be scared. Hey, man, you sit and talk to your friends all the time, man. Like, one person. Oh, you talk a lot. Now you like,
Got to stand up.
Now you want to whisper.
Yep. You gotta stand up. You gotta stand up and say your name and then
Can't be
ask your
shy.
question.
You can't be shy.
I'm D'Angelo. I play for the varsity basketball team. I'm currently a junior. And my question is, if you could play along any other musician, who would it be and why?
Musician. Well, that's tough. I'm gonna say Najee. He's a great saxophone. I mean, I got the opportunity to watch him and see him do his thing before. And as I was growing up, that was one of the guys I looked at, obviously, playing saxophone. Kenny G was another one. As I tried to play soprano, I have a lot of respect. Do we have any soprano players in here? Saxophone? You can play it? Tough instrument. That's one of the toughest that was the biggest challenge of all of the instruments that I tried. It takes a lot of, so is French horn too. You guys, French horns, yeah. Thumbs up to you guys. But, I started as a saxophone, so I was a saxophonist first. So I would have to pick those two.
I'm Darian. I'm a senior. I play for the basketball team, the varsity basketball team. So my question is, everyone knows that you're the best dunker of all time. What's your favorite dunk, like, in your opinion?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What's my favorite? My favorite, like, number one. Golly. I would say two of the most talked about or people mentioned to me often are the Olympic dunk and the one on Lonzo Mourning. So that's two. And one of my, it's hard to pick a favorite. One of my favorite moments was the dunk contest because at that night, most of those dunks I made up that night. So I practiced the first one, the reverse 360 windmill, but I barely made it. And then all of a sudden got into the dunk contest and, what you saw happen. But the other dunks I'd never done before. So in the Olympics, for those who don't know, I jumped over a 7'2" guy in the game. And yeah, it's a big deal, right? My bad, sorry. But the funny thing about it is during the game, I didn't know I jumped over him. Okay, so you guys remember after I dunked the ball, KG's right there, and I'm like, celebrating, right? Well, KG and I are celebrating two totally different things. True story. So when you go back and look at it, you'll laugh because here's why. Obviously, he saw me jump over it. He knew I jumped over the French guy. Me, in my mind, I thought I jumped too far, and I thought I was going to get hung and wasn't going to make it. So I was excited that I actually just made the dunk, and he was excited because I jumped over him. So we're celebrating totally different things. And after I actually found out I jumped over him after the game. Like the rest of the game, nobody said a word about you just jumped over a 7'2" guy. I had no idea. So how about that?
My name is Xavier. I'm part of the Men's Leadership Academy, and I just want to know, like, who's like the best player you ever went against? And then
the best player that I've played against, hands down, is Michael Jordan. I'm old enough to where I actually played against Michael Jordan. And I know everybody's like, Kobe. I'm sure you probably say LeBron, but there was this guy named Michael Jordan that played a little before him that was great. He wasn't even good. So I have to say Michael Jordan first. I mean, because what you're seeing now, he did that with ease. And I mean, he had great players around him, but he made mediocre players great. It's not like, some guys you play, he's like, we're going to let him shoot. Michael Jordan instilled such confidence in some of his guys that on the scouting report, when you play him, like, you be like, oh, this guy can't play. But it's something about when he steps on the floor, these guys become great players. And that was the thing about Mike more so than his scoring. I mean, obviously, all of the attention is on Michael when he has the ball. And I had the opportunity to guard him. And, I mean,
the opportunity.
Yeah, I had that opportunity. And, it's a task in itself, but it's like, the object is to hopefully make him pass or miss. And when he passes, like this guy who's not even on our scouting report kills us as well. And that just made him great because you can see all of the average players or the great players today, they don't make other players better. And that's what I think, that's what I consider a guy great. He can make other players better while being great.
Hello, my name is Devon Kayte.
Why y'all sound like y'all older than me? My bad. Go ahead.
I'm a comedian. Now, with this being your 20th season, when do you plan on retiring?
Oh, man, I don't know. with this being my 20th season, I don't know yet. For the last five years, I've been saying 2 more years. So, now I'm at year 20. I'm gonna probably say 1 more year, 21, and I think that's it. And I'm gonna move on.
Dirk is still playing. He's the other 40-year-old in the league. But is there any part of you that wants to edge that out? Be like, I'll hang it up when he does. 1 more year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. Because Dirk can't move anymore. So that's the thing. He's retiring because it hurts now. And it hurts some mornings. Like you guys wake up and go. Some mornings I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it to the car. But I tend to I figure it out, and once I get there, I'm fine. So 1 more.
Coming up on King Central.
That's my family, so that's easy. I don't know if you guys know Tracy McGrady is my actual cousin. See, y'all gotta know your history. All y'all play ball don't know nothing.
Where did we go? We have another question in the back? Okay.
My name is Robert, and I was wondering, out of all the teams you've played for, which was your
a lot.
favorite? Yeah.
There's a few of them. Go ahead.
And who was your favorite player to play beside?
Oh, man. See, family doesn't count. That doesn't count. That's my family, so that's easy. I don't know if you guys know Tracy McGrady is my actual cousin. See, y'all gotta know your history. All y'all play ball don't know nothing. But yes, Tracy McGrady is my cousin, so I can't count him. Actually playing with, golly, Dirk. Like Dirk, he's a great teammate. For the superstar that he is, he's unselfish. Like he just wants to win. And obviously when he wants the ball, he wants the ball. But he's like, if you're open, shoot it. And when you don't shoot it, he's gonna tell you, shoot it. Like shoot the ball, play. So he's one of the guys that I enjoy playing with. I mean, there's so many guys. I played long enough. Who else did I play for? Rando. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Memphis. Yeah. Mike Conley. Mike Conley's a great guy. I like guys who are great players and know they're good, but they have the team in mind. Like, they want to see all of us succeed. And because that's how I was. I was, coming up, and I was obviously being recruited by a lot of schools, but I made sure my teammates always had an opportunity to be featured when the college coaches were coming. I don't care if it was Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, I don't care whoever, they might not go to those schools, but they know somebody at a smaller school that can get them an opportunity. And I've always had an appreciation for guys who are like that because it's bigger than, what you can do. Obviously, the best player can get his shot. He's gonna get all the attention. But can you make your teammates better? Can you help your other teammates get an opportunity to go to college and stuff like that, which I don't think a lot of you guys tend to think. Same thing with music. Like, why not, if you see somebody struggling with a song or a piece or a spot in a song or on the basketball court or whatever, pull them aside and like, oh, let's work on this. Let me get you better, because it's going to help you later on.
My name is Isaac. Mr. Carter, I was wondering, how did you, in the first year, your rookie year, how did you get out of the maturity of playing for college ball?
Oh, man. It's a different game. Coming from college, like, I had success in college, had success in the tournament, but you got to think, we're talking about professional sports, so that means grown men. And a lot of these guys, when you look at TV now, you feel like, oh man, that guy's not any good, I could do that. Until you actually walk on that court and like, nah, this is a different beast here. So for me, it was just, I was fortunate enough to have veterans on my team that I could ask questions. I was one of those guys, if I don't know something, I'm asking. Like, you can laugh, kiki all you want. Most of the people who laugh when you ask questions didn't know either. And they're more laughing because they're glad you asked the question as well. Believe me. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions, because I hate the not knowing. Like, you're old enough. You ever drive somewhere and you're like, man, I don't know where I'm going. Like, you don't want to ask at the same time? That's not me.
They have cell phones now.
I don't know. Oh yeah, sorry.
Like when we started driving,
Sorry.
you
That's
know.
right. Never mind.
You guys know what an atlas
Yeah.
is?
No, but it was just one of the things, like even, I don't care what it is, like even practice today, like we running new plays or whatever, coach is talking, but he doesn't talk to everybody, but he's talking to some of the guys, but he expects you to know. Well, best believe, if you don't know, hey, hold up. What am I supposed to do here? Because you rather look like the fool not knowing, or do you rather look like the fool when he calls on you to play in the game and run the play, or if a teacher asks you a question you don't know, then what fool do you want to be? I don't want to be either, so I'm going to ask.
All right, everybody, give Vince a hand. And great questions, yeah.
All right, well, Mr. Carter and Ms. Christensen, thank you so much for coming out tonight or this afternoon and sharing all the great insight with our students. Very much appreciated. And before you go, though, our band has a special music ensemble for you, so enjoy.